In the heart of a bustling city lived two children named Zoe and Lucas. They were inseparable, spending their days in fantastical adventures and their nights dreaming of faraway lands. One day, while rummaging through their late grandfather's attic, they stumbled upon an old trunk filled with antique toys and trinkets. As they sifted through the dusty relics, something caught Zoe's eye. Tucked away in a corner was a peculiar music box. Its wooden surface was intricately carved with images of dancing fairies and mythical creatures. Intrigued, Zoe wound up the key and a hauntingly beautiful melody filled the attic. As the music swelled, the attic seemed to shimmer and change around them. When the last note faded away, Zoe and Lucas realized that the attic had vanished and they now stood in a lush, vibrant meadow filled with colorful flowers and sparkling streams. They were in a place unlike anything they had ever seen before. Astonished, they soon realized that the attic had transformed into a portal, transporting them to a magical realm. As they explored further, they encountered whimsical landscapes and fantastical creatures that seemed to have sprung straight out of their wildest imaginations. Zoe and Lucas had accidentally stumbled into the hidden world of Ethel. Ethel was a realm where magic flowed like water and where the boundaries of the impossible were blurred. Overwhelmed by the beauty and wonder all around them, Zoe and Lucas couldn't believe their good fortune. But their joy was short-lived because as they ventured deeper into this enchanting world, they discovered that it was in grave danger. The once vibrant land was fading away, with its people losing faith in magic and hope for the future. The very essence of Ethereum was at stake, and the children knew they had to do something to help. Determined to save this magical realm, they sought out the help of the enigmatic guardian of Ethereum, a wise and ancient being who safeguarded the balance between the human and magical worlds. The guardian, touched by their bravery and kindness, agreed to help them on their quest. With the guardian's guidance, Zoe and Lucas embarked on a series of challenges and adventures that tested their courage, quick thinking and most importantly, their unbreakable bond of friendship. They faced mischievous fairies, outsmarted cunning goblins and even befriended a grumpy but lovable talking tree named Elderwood. Through it all, their determination to save Ethel only grew stronger. As their adventures continued, Zoe and Lucas learned that the fading of Ethel was caused by a growing darkness that threatened to consume the realm. This darkness was personified by the Shadow Weaver, a malevolent entity that thrived on despair and hopelessness. The Shadow Weaver had been whispering doubts and fears into the hearts of Ethel's inhabitants, causing them to forget the magic that had always been a part of their lives. To defeat the Shadow Weaver, Zoe and Lucas knew that they had to reignite the people's belief in magic and restore their hope for the future. With the help of the Guardian and the friends they had made along the way, they devised a plan. They would use the power of imagination, creativity and most importantly, their unwavering friendship to remind the people of Ethel what they had forgotten. So Zoe and Lucas rallied the citizens of Ethel. They organized festivals filled with music, laughter and art, encouraging everyone to express their creativity and remember the joy that magic had brought them. The entire realm was transformed as Zoe and Lucas helped the people rediscover the wonder and beauty that surrounded them. Hope began to blossom once again, and with it, the land started to heal. However, the Shadow Weaver was not pleased with these developments. As the people's spirits lifted, the darkness that had been plaguing Ethel began to recede. The Shadow Weaver sensed its demise approaching and unleashed its full power in a desperate attempt to engulf the realm in darkness. But Zoe and Lucas were prepared. With the help of their friends, they confronted the Shadow Weaver, their hearts filled with determination and their minds focused on the light. In a final, epic showdown, Zoe and Lucas used the power of imagination and creativity to banish the Shadow Weaver and its darkness from Ethel. As the last vestiges of darkness dissipated, Ethel was bathed in a brilliant, healing light. The land, rejuvenated by the return of hope and magic, flourished like never before. Zoe and Lucas, hailed as heroes, knew that their adventure was far from over. The experience had opened their eyes to the wonders of the unseen world, and they were eager to explore more. Before they could say goodbye to their newfound friends, though, the attic reappeared, acting as a portal once again, reminding them of their home. With heavy hearts, but a renewed sense of adventure, Zoe and Lucas stepped back into their attic. Back in their own world, Zoe and Lucas couldn't shake the feeling that their adventure in Ethel wasn't just a dream. They knew that the magical realm and its inhabitants needed their help, and they were determined to return. Every day, they pored over their grandfather's belongings, searching for a way to get back to Ethel. Meanwhile, in Ethereum, the people celebrated Zoe and Lucas's victory over the Shadow Weaver. The realm was thriving once more, and magic flowed freely through the land. But a shadow of worry hung over their celebration. They knew that while they had defeated the Shadow Weaver once, there was no guarantee it wouldn't return. As the months passed, Zoe and Lucas's hopes of returning to Ethel began to fade. They missed their friends and the magical world they had grown to love. Just when they were about to give up hope, Zoe remembered an old book she had found in the attic. She rushed to the bookshelf and pulled out the book. Its pages were filled with cryptic symbols and incantations. As she pored over the book, she realized that it contained the key to returning to Ethel. Excitedly, she shared her discovery with Lucas, and together they prepared for their return. Following the instructions in the ancient book, Zoe and Lucas performed a simple ritual, and the attic once again shimmered and transformed into a portal. With a deep breath, they stepped through the portal, ready to face whatever new challenges awaited them in ether. They found the Etherians gathered in the central plaza. When they saw Zoe and Lucas, cheers erupted, and the Etherians welcomed them back with open arms. Elderwood, the talking tree, greeted them with a warm smile. "You have returned just in time," he said. "The Shadow Weaver is stirring once more." Zoe and Lucas exchanged worried glances. They had sensed that their adventure was not over. The Shadow Weaver may have been weakened, but it was far from defeated. Determined to protect their friends and the world they had come to care for deeply, Zoe and Lucas joined forces with the Etherians to confront the Shadow Weaver. They knew that this time they had to be prepared. Using their combined powers of imagination and creativity, Zoe and Lucas devised a strategy to outwit the Shadow Weaver. They created illusions, distractions and traps, confusing the creature and preventing it from causing harm. Throughout the battle, Zoe and Lucas remained steadfast, their friendship and determination shining brightly. Finally, Zoe and Lucas managed to lure the Shadow Weaver into a cave. Inside the cave, they had placed a crystal that amplified the power of imagination and creativity. As the Shadow Weaver entered the cave, the crystal reacted, bathing the space in brilliant light. This light was pure magic, and it was too powerful for the Shadow Weaver to withstand. With a final surge of energy, Zoe and Lucas banished the Shadow Weaver from Ethel forever. Freed from the fear of the Shadow Weaver, the people of Ethel rejoiced. Magic flourished, and peace returned to the land. Zoe and Lucas, knowing their mission was complete, prepared to return home. With heavy hearts, they bid farewell to their friends in Ethel, promising to return whenever they were needed. As they stepped back into the portal, they carried with them the magic of their experiences and the memories of their extraordinary adventures. Back in their world, Zoe and Lucas knew that their lives would never be the same. They had discovered a world where magic and imagination were real, and they had saved it from the clutches of darkness. Their bond of friendship had only grown stronger through their adventures, and they knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they could face them together. The thought of Ethel and its people gave them strength and reminded them that even in the ordinary, there is always a touch of magic waiting to be discovered. Their story serves as a reminder that the power of friendship and imagination can conquer even the darkest of shadows. So the next time you look up at the stars, remember the tale of Zoe and Lucas and the hidden world of Ethel, a world where magic is real and anything is possible. The end.